Hello everyone, this is Dr. Mihir Shah once again with another video. In this video, we are going to solve October 2019 university question paper of the subject Goods and Service Tax, also known as the Indirect Tax paper, okay, for TYBMS SEM 6. Now, this is the very first part of solving the paper of October 2019. So let us see which are the questions that we are going to solve in this particular video. Okay, so let us start with question number one, which was based on question number 2A in the question paper. Okay. Find out the time of supply of goods in the following independent cases as per the provision of CGST Act of 2017. They have given you date of removal. Okay, date of removal is given and date of invoice and date of payment has been given. Remember, whenever date of removal is given, remember it is removal of goods. Okay, so the rules for solving that is very simple. Time of supply involve movement of goods. Okay, the time of supply of goods is the earlier of either time of removal or time of or date of invoice. Okay, so date of removal or date of invoice, whichever will be the earlier date, that will be your time of supply for goods which are movement. Okay, if there is a movement of goods, so whenever date of removal will be given and date of invoice and date of payment is given, remember it is always based on movement of goods. Now, according to the rule, date of removal or date of invoice, whichever is earlier, will be your answer. Okay, so in our solution, now date of removal for the first one is 10/11 and 12/11. So 10/11 is the earlier date. 4/12 and so my first answer will be 10/11/2017. For the second, 4/12/2017 and 2/12/2017. 2/12 is the earlier date, so it's 2nd December 2017. 9 December and 10 December. 9 December is the earlier date. So that is the answer. 5th Jan and 15 Jan. 5th Jan is the earlier date. 10 Jan and 9 Jan. 9 Jan is the earlier date. And last 27th Feb and 5th March, in which 27th Feb is the earlier date. So the answer will be 27 Feb 2018. So you have to make the same question table as it is and one additional column after that in your solution. Okay, this is as simple as that. You just have to remember the rule, note down the rule, make the table and give the final TUS ka answer. Okay, so this was question number 2A from the question paper. Next, question number 2B. Find the place of supply of goods and give explanation to answer in the following cases. Number one, Mr. Prashant Agre from Chennai supplied goods to Messrs. Indian Airlines of Chennai flying between Delhi to Mumbai. The goods are loaded in the aircraft in Delhi. Now, this is again based on goods. They're asking you to find the place of supply of goods when there is boarding done or loading. Okay, boarding and loading in any vessel. So the rule for place of supply for goods when you are boarding it in any vessel or any container or any traveling vehicle. So the rule is wherever the goods are loaded or boarded, okay, that place will become your place of supply. So in this case, the goods are loaded in Delhi. So my answer for the first will be the place of supply will be Delhi because goods are supplied on a vessel or conveyance, and POS will be the place where the goods are loaded as per that particular rule. Okay. Second, Mr. Raj of Pune places an order to Ramakant of Mumbai for delivery of certain goods. Mr. Raj directs Ramakant to deliver the goods to Anand of Indore. So here Raj orders from Ramakant to deliver at Anand. So that there are three parties in this. Now remember the rule for three parties is if there are three parties involved, the person who gives the order, that person becomes the third party basically. Okay, because you have the supplier, you have the recipient, and then there will be a third person who has actually given the order. So under the three party rule, the person who given the order or the third party becomes his place will become the place of supply. So in our case, Raj is the third person because he is given the order to Ramakant to deliver the goods to Anand. So the place of Raj is Pune. So my place of supply will be Pune. The supplier deliver goods to a recipient or any other person on the direction of the third person. So in that case, the POS will be the place of the third person. Third, Mr. Prakash of Nasik, Maharashtra sells 5 motor vehicles to Pankaj of Pune for delivery at Pankaj's place of business in Pune. So here there is movement of goods. From Nasik, the goods are getting moved to Pune. So wherever the goods terminate, that place will become your place of supply. So it is getting terminated in Pune. So POS will be Pune or Maharashtra. The supply involve movement of goods, and POS will be the place where the delivery terminates. Okay. Again, very simple. You just have to remember the rules. Okay. Based on the rule, you can solve any kind of sum. Okay. This was question number 2B of the question paper. I hope everyone have understood question number 2A and 2B. One was based on time of supply of goods, and this is place of supply of goods. Now let us see the next question in question number 2, or may there was question number 2P. Now let us solve question number 2P. Determine the time of supply of service in the following independent cases. Now this is based on supply of services. They are giving you date of provision, date of invoice, and date of payment. Now the rule for supply of services, it is the earliest of number one. If invoice is issued within the time limit, then date of invoice or payment, whichever is earlier. And if it is not issued before the time limit, then date of provision and date of payment, whichever is earlier. Now the rule looks a little complicated, but the solution is not, okay, when we are going to solve. So see now how we have to solve it. First step, note down those columns as it is. We'll require 4 additional columns. Time limit for issue of invoice, whether invoice is received within the time limit. If no, then A and C, whichever is earlier. If yes, if B and C, whichever is earlier. So I name this as A, this is B, and this is C. Okay. Now the rule is, first, come from the date of provision, go ahead and get me 30 days ka date. Okay, from date of provision, go ahead of 30 days. So I'm writing here 30 days from date of provision. So 15th November will become 15 December. 18 November will become 18 December. 25th November will become 25th December. 22nd December, because December has 31 days, it will become 21 Jan. Okay, 25th December will become 24th Jan, and 12th Jan will become 11th Feb. Okay, so this is the dates which you have just discussed. Step number 1. Step number 2, now compare your invoice ka date with the time limit. If the invoice is on the time limit or before time limit, we will consider it as yes. If the date of invoice is after the limit, we will consider that as no. Okay, now check what it is. First sum, the first 11th November date of invoice, and time limit is 15th December. So here the date of invoice is before the time limit. Yes, it is before. If it is before, the rule is it is date of invoice B or C, whichever is earlier. That is date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier. So among the two, 11th November is the earliest date. So my time of supply will be 11th November. Again, second, compare date of invoice. Date of invoice is 20th. It's not 21. Okay, this is a printing error in the question. It's supposed to be 12. Okay, so 20th 12 and 18/12, meaning 20th December and 18th December. Time limit was 18th December. Invoice was after the time limit. So I'll write it here. Whether it was before the limit, no, it was after the limit. So if it is after the limit, date of provision or date of payment, whichever is earlier, A or C, whichever is earlier. So 18 November and 17 November. So answer is 17 November will be your time of supply. Next, 26th December and 25th December. Date of invoice is after the limit, so I'll write it here. It is not within the limit. So A and C, whichever is earlier. So 25th November will be the earlier, because 25th and 26th May, 25th is the earlier. 15th Jan and 21st Jan. So yes, 25th, 15th is before. Okay, it is before the time limit. So B and C, whichever is earlier. So 15th Jan and 12th December. So I mean 21 December. So 21 December 2017 will be the earlier date. Next, now this is also a printing error. This is supposed to be 1. 28th Jan and 24th Jan. So 28th is after the time limit. So I write no. A and C, whichever is earlier. So 25th is the earlier date. And last, 15th Jan and 11th Feb. So 15th Jan is earlier. Yes, it is before the time limit. So B and C, whichever is earlier. So 15th Jan is the earlier among the two. So the sum is not complicated, very easy. You have to remember that from date of provision, take 30 days ahead. Compare that date with the invoice. If the invoice is before or on that date, then it is B and C, whichever is earlier. And if it is after, then A and C, whichever is earlier. Okay. So this is how you'll have to solve the time of supply of service. Okay. Now suppose if you all get confused in this, always remember if you have looked in any of the paper now, there is always time of supply of goods in option with time of supply of service. So if you get confused in this part, you all can attempt the goods part because that is much more simple because it has straightforward sum. Okay. Chalo, this was question number 2P. Now we go ahead with the last question in the question number 2. There is 2Q. Mrs. Amol Chemical entered into a contract with Simran Industry for the supply of goods worth 3,47,000. It was agreed that an additional expense incurred to complete the sale will also be included in the contract value. Measure Simran Industry following expenses to complete the sale. Okay, so they're asking us basically what? Calculate the value of supply. So I'll write here computation of value of supply. We have particulars and goods. Goods, you can write amount also in this case. It's a contract of goods basically. So okay, we can write this or we can write just amount ka column also here. Okay. Chalo. Now first thing, value of good. What was the value of good which was supplied? 3,47,000. So I'm writing here value of goods is 3,47,000. Now we will start adding all those expenses which were incurred. Insurance 2,200, so we added. Transportation charges 1,600, packing charges 1,650, testing charges 1,170, inspection charges 2,600, loading charges 800. Simran Industry also receives a subsidy. Now remember, subsidy from government is exempted. Any other than government, any other subsidies given will get added to the bill. It is from manufacturer association, again not government related. Government will be either state or central. Okay, so we add up 10,000. So we total it up and we will get a value of supply. Now in this data, they have not given us to calculate the GST on it because there's nothing related to GST mentioned. No rates have been given. So directly we'll add it up and we'll get a value of supply. So that comes to 3,67,020. That's it. There was no GST. If GST would have been given, we would have added them, add CGST, add SGST, total it up, and we would have got the value of supply. But in the sum, they haven't given you anything. So this is the final answer, the value of supply. Okay. So I hope everyone have understood how to solve question number 2 from the question paper of October 2019. So with that, we will be ending this video here. Thank you.